You can't say that word.
Okay, so
I
I
can't
think
remember.
we're live.
We're live. What's up, everyone? What's up, YouTube?
What's up, Facebook?
Let me choke on my water.
What is
What's
up,
up, everyone?
everybody?
Whoever's
Okay.
doing
Yeah.
In the future.
in the future. Yeah.
Should we wait for some people to join?
Yeah, sure. We can wait a few minutes. Let some people jump on.
Okay.
How do we see the comments like last time? I missed them last time.
Oh, jeez.
I guess we gotta learn as we go.
Yeah, I guess we can look at our Facebooks or something.
I have a quick question for Carolyn and Myron.
Oh, yeah? What's
Yeah,
the
I already
question?
asked Joseph and KJ, but what's like your guys' go-to foods?
Go-to
Tacos.
foods, like as a couple or as like
As a couple.
I'd say it's tacos.
Velvet tacos.
Velvet
He loves
tacos.
Like the place, Velvet Taco?
Yeah, velvet tacos.
Oh, okay.
All about it. We love Mexican food. Obviously. Like he kind of has to. He bought into it. Like if I were to say what my favorite food is, like of all time, it would be tostadas.
Mm.
Okay, wait. What do you
Saturday.
consider a tostada? Like, describe what it looks like.
Not a store-bought crunchy flat tortilla. Like real deal deep fried corn tortilla with refried beans and lettuce and salsa and I don't know, depends. Like I would do pork or beef or chicken.
What do you call the store-bought ones when they have the stuff on it? What do you call those?
When they have the stuff on it?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a-
Like
I know where this is going.
when you get the flat ones that are called tostadas from the store and you put food on it, what is that meal called?
Why are you judging?
Gross.
Because KJ and I
Like
have had it.
chalupas?
You called it a chalupa?
No, not a chalupa. No,
All right,
chalupa
thank
is
you. All right, that solves my question.
Whatever.
KJ called it a chalupa, and I said, no, it's a tostada. It literally
tostadas
says,
for me are flat. Like
yeah.
that's that. And a
Yeah.
sopa is like the soft.
Mhm. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, you answered my question. I won that argument. So.
Dang, that argument was lingering around since 1932, bro. I could tell, man.
Yeah, it's been ongoing.
Hey,
It's been ongoing.
Agnes.
What's up?
What's up, Agnes?
We're just chatting about food for people waiting for people to jump on.
Yeah.
Are you on? Can you see it on?
Yeah, Agnes is on my Facebook right now.
How
I have
cute.
no idea how you can tell who's on.
How are you?
Agnes, I have a question for you. Have you got that deal in North Carolina yet? Agnes is looking for a deal. Tell us about what deal. Tell us about the deal you're looking for, Agnes.
Oh, she said not yet.
Not yet. Where are you all streaming from? We're on YouTube. We're on StreamYard.
We're on StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Matthew? How are you? We met Matthew at the mastermind. Okay, got it.
Must be a creative deal from North Carolina, Fayetteville. Okay, check. Awesome. All right, guys. We just want to pop on
Yeah,
here.
for some reason,
You what?
my comments don't pop up in here. It makes me wonder why. We got some things we need to work out on this technical side, but it's okay.
I see all the comments.
No.
I do too.
Oh,
love
you
it.
do?
Are you in full screen mode?
No, but it's just only showing Myron's comments, not mine.
Hmm.
Okay.
Weird.
Hey, Tori.
It's okay.
Tori's in the house.
From YouTube watching us. That's
Who's
awesome.
up, Tori?
Cool. Well, thank you guys for joining in. We wanted to hop on here for a little bit and talk about what has been going on for us individually, as a team, the things that we're working on, opportunities, and everything. Oscar, did you want to start?
Yeah, for sure. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Oscar. I'm part of this amazing family that you see on your screen right now. I got KJ in the house, Joseph, Carolyn and Meyer, and of course the power couples all in the house. And so I wanted to start it off by talking about decisions and commitment, because I think if you don't have those two in this business, it's really tough, because going on decisions is no one here is going to force you to do anything in this business. Like, you can either do it or you don't do it, and nobody's watching you, nobody's holding you accountable. In this case, I'm being held accountable by Ione. And so if I don't do my job, she's definitely going to whip me into shape. And so a lot of us here are fortunate to have our significant others to kind of, hold us accountable on whatever we need to do. So we're blessed on that part. But at the end of the day, if we don't take certain decisions to make things happen, then we either stay where we are or we don't progress. So I think being committed to doing what you need to do also is a big part, because again, nobody's going to force you to do what you need to do in this business. So if you're not committed and if you're not consistently doing the things that you need to do, you're just going to stay stagnant, or you're not going to be able to succeed in this business. So for me, that was a big thing. Is these past few months I've been thinking about commitment and what that means for us as a team, because we need to be committed on our goals. And if we're not all on the same path, or thinking the same thing, or being shooting for the same thing, it's just not going to work. So we had like a group discussion, like a team huddle. We have them every day, but we had a huddle and we discussed, what are our goals? Like, what are we going to be focusing on? Let's make this decision today, and let's go towards those goals and commit to it. And so Myron and KJ and Joseph, Carolyn, they'll speak more about, the things that boundaries and all that kind of stuff. But for us, we came together and we decided we're going to do multifamily. But we did that before kind of still shooting everywhere when we first started, because we still all had our own single family operations. We were wholesaling, we were dispo, we were acquisitions, we were whatever. But we were the common thing that we had was multifamily. And so we were kind of like, we were committed, but we were also kind of taken away from other things at the same time. So we weren't truly committed into multifamily as like we are now. And so like that's kind of what I want to talk to everyone about here is, we are now, like, say, we call ourselves the multifamily acquisitions team, or MFA, if I'm not mistaken. And is it MFA?
It's the MF team.
Okay, MFT. Sorry.
It's whatever goes.
And so when we decided that, like now we're like all aligned, and now we're truly committed to multifamily, and that's all we're talking about now. So this conversation, what you're going to hear about us talk about are those topics: decisions, commitment, multifamily, boundaries, and then Myron has a topic that he's going to speak up to end the session. So that's kind of where I wanted to start off with. Those decisions and the commitment that we've made have now transformed us to the group that we are today.
Amazing.
Cool. I made a post yesterday,
A couple days ago.
2 days ago, almost echoing. It was like, yeah, we made a decision to get into multifamily, but like, did we make a commitment, right? Like, they're almost a little different. You got to commit, like, with everything you have, commit. And I told Carolyn, like, I don't know if I've committed 100%. like until a couple of days ago, I was like just half in, half out. I felt, if you asked me, Myron, do you want to be a millionaire today? Like if I could snap my fingers and be, I'm like, you know what? I'm a little scared of that. I'm a little scared of that, but also the work that comes with it. And yeah, exactly, Agnes. Like the work that it takes to get to that point,
You got to
it's
come
scary.
and you got to be a whole new person, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. And so I said, okay, I commit. I commit to that work because that's what it's going to take. And I'm pushing. Like Oscar was telling me today, like, bro, you're like Myron 4.0.
I know he's been crushing it. I think also a lot of it comes into we recently joined another mentorship, a multifamily mentorship that gave us a lot of clarity in what we're doing. Just learning to set boundaries and saying no to things. Like our goal is to only work on $1 million deals. So if it doesn't bring us $1 million, we're not going to look at it anymore. So we go back into our Podio system, and majority of those deals were us wasting time on deals that weren't going to make us $1 million. So just having that clarity and being able to set boundaries and say no, because pretty much everyone in here likes to help people and say yes to everyone. And we started getting spread really thin, and we weren't in alignment with our goals of where we want to be. So we recently came up with new boundary, new rules, new goals, new buy box, new expectations. Like this is what it needs to be. If it's not, we're not looking at it. We're not wasting time on it. So it really took us to have that clarity, because I'm like, half of those deals in our Podio are small deals. They're not getting us where we want to be, because our goal is to acquire 1,000 units by next July. And now it's crazy even saying that out loud, but now we're speaking it into existence, and now we have to live up to that and make it happen. And so when people bring us deals, sometimes I feel obligated because I love helping and I want to be able to, I don't know. That's just the person that I think all of us are, but it's like sometimes we have to be a little selfish and put our goals first and like make sure we're staying in alignment with what we're trying to achieve, because sometimes it's really easy to just get thrown off, because when we say yes to this and yes to this and yes to this, before you know it's like, where did all my time go? How am I going to get to my goals because I was distracted? So that was a big thing that we recently learned, is really sticking to our goals and our boundaries that we recently created. And so today we were going through deals. We're like, nope, doesn't fit. Nope, doesn't fit. And normally we'd be like, okay, let's see if we can find a buyer for it. Oh, let's see how we can make it work. But I was like, no, this is distracting us. This is taking time away from our goals. And so that was something that is kind of uncomfortable for us, because we're like, we're turning down all these deals, but like they don't get us where we need to be. So that's a learning lesson.
I want to add to that because I think it's a great point, whether you're working on multifamily or single family, whatever you're working on. We all come into these scenarios where it's like, oh, but what if I could do this with that? Well, let me try and find a buyer. Oh, well, let me just comp it and see if it works. Like, let me just try to make something out of nothing. And when you really know what the primary focus and goals should be, and that's for us is like $1 million value add multifamilies. And I think when we have those moments of like, oh, let me just dabble on this for a minute, and I think that really comes from a scarcity mindset, because you're too afraid to let it go, because you know that it's not for you. Like in the back of your mind, you know it's not for you, but you're still trying to do it anyway because you're like afraid, what if I missed out on $5,000 or something. Like I left money on the table. But it's like Pace told me this at the mastermind recently. And if it was like the one takeaway I could take away, he said to me, and this is like everybody's heard this, but he told me what you focus on expands. And he was talking specifically about like the dynamic of our business relationship, Myron and I, but it's like I'm applying that to every single situation and scenario and work environment that we're in, because it's like if you focus on multifamilies within our buy box with $1 million value add potential, what do you think is going to happen? Like, do you know how fast that shit's going to start rolling in and you're not even going to think about it? And we started this multifamily team, what, 2-3 months ago? I'd say 3 months ago. And we are at the almost finish line for a 30-unit multifamily deal in Corpus Christi. Like, who would have even thought that? But it's literally even us taking those steps, even when we were still kind of dabbling here and there, we took the steps. We put in a lot of effort and a lot of work. More people started finding out and reaching out to us and bringing us deals and like structuring things. And now it's like, wow. And no, we don't have a signed signature yet. I say yet because it's going to happen. But even the fact that we made it this far in a transaction for the first time, that's like monumental. And that is to be given a ton of credit. And like, don't forget about the process. When you're aiming for all the results, like don't forget about the journey and the process of everything you're going through, because you're only going to take that and put it towards your next one and keep going and elevating and evolving. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, the journey is important. It's what builds you up and turns you into the person you're meant to be.
Yes, for sure.
100%. And all that couldn't have been done if one of us or one couple here was doing it by themselves. I don't see it happening. And the way that we came together, it's almost like a coincidence, but it's also like, I don't know, like the universe or whatever you want to call it, because it all brought us together and we all had that same shift in our mindset where we were like, you know what, we want to get into multifamily, but not only want to, we actually want to do it. And so we started doing it. And the power about that is we started attracting people who also wanted to do it. But this Corpus Christi deal that Carol and Myron are talking about is it was brought to us by other people who needed help. And if it wasn't for our collective efforts, I don't see, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, guys, but if it was me by myself, I don't think I could have gotten it as far as we did, as far as it has gone.
Same here.
That's how I feel about everything we do.
we all play a pivotal, like may feel small at the time, but we all have our own unique ability and role, and it all just adds up at the end. And we literally can't, like, multifamily is a whole new kind of monster, and at some point we're going to get to the level where we can like do this in our brains type of thing. But right now a team is super beneficial and like needed.
Yeah.
Like we need each other to push everything forward and keep each other accountable and make sure we have multiple eyes on the things, because it's easy to lose track of everything coming in,
Yeah, I feel like this multifamily adventure has been very eye-opening, but very what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of growth. But it's made me realize that when you are in alignment with what you should be aligned with and what makes you happy and your goals, I wake up happy and excited, and it's cool that I get to come and work with my friends. Like, I look forward to hanging out with you guys. And when we were all on vacation, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so out of place right now. Like, where are you guys? And everyone here plays such a huge role. We couldn't do it without each other, and it makes you appreciate the people you do have, like being able to trust people, have trustworthy and honest people to work with that you can depend on makes a huge difference. And just knowing that we're all going to work together to get to the same goal is super exciting. And we started writing our goals morning and night now. We write our goals down.
Mine are around here somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for the receipts. I need receipts.
Post your
But
goal.
yeah, I like that we all push each other, and we're like, sometimes when someone isn't thinking the right way or having an off day, like the other person's there to pick them up or like help them put them in the right direction again. So just shifting from single family to multifamily, it's intimidating, especially at first when you don't know what to ask for, you don't know the language and the lingo, you don't know how to underwrite the deal. I mean, that's kind of where we all started. We're like, what do we do? And then we kind of just jumped in and like figured it out. And I mean, we're still figuring it out, but it's exciting to now be sitting in LOIs and being able to quickly napkin underwrite a multifamily deal.
KJ, if I'm brand new, I don't know what an LOI means. What does that mean?
A letter of intention, meaning you're that's saying, hey, I want to buy the property. It's a non-binding agreement, just stating that you want to buy the property.
Let's rewind to when we first sent our first LOI. Do you remember how scary that was, Myron?
What?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. What was it?
I think it
property?
might have been. Gosh, what
Was
was
it the NC deal?
Oh,
I think so.
The portfolio. I think
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
It was, oh my goodness, that deal was the S show. But
we were not aligned then.
Yeah, we were not aligned.
today,
Not
if
with
we
the right
said that
people.
deal was that person, it'd be like, nope, like
Yeah,
not touching it.
yeah.
We learned a lot though.
Yeah,
Like
we had to
a
do
lot
it.
of lessons just from that, just sitting in LOI and talking to them. Like, wow, okay. And then I feel like we kept seeing it and we kept learning the lesson. Like it like kept echoing as
Like
it was
you're gonna
going.
learn and learn.
Yeah.
But I guess that goes to the point of what was it? Choosing who we work with and like being able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Just being able to be aligned with the right people, you know, not just us six, but like everyone else we work with as well. I think it's really important to be able to work with people that you enjoy and that bring you deals. And so today, Oscar and I made a ton of calls to brokers, and we definitely made a few really good relationships. And that's exciting because one person said they had like 1,400 units. Someone else sent Myron like 1,600 units. And it's just crazy to think we used to look at one single family.
Not only that, but we used to look at deals, and the number for the purchase price used to scare us. Remember?
Yeah.
It was like,
Just say this.
yeah, it was like $3 million, and we were like freaking out.
We're like, what do we do with this? What happens if they say yes? We're screwed.
Right. And I don't remember who it was.
Anymore, guys.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. I think it was one time, some of us, I think it might have been KJ. We were looking at a deal and it came in and she was like, it's only $1 million? Like,
Only?
only $1 million? Like, that's cheap.
I know, it's crazy how our mind shift has changed. And it's really exciting too because multifamily opens up so many more opportunities for you to scale. And all it takes is one deal, one good deal
Deal could change your life.
to become a millionaire. So I was like, why are we not focused on multifamily? Why would we want multiple single family houses spread out with different property managements, tenants, whatever, when we can have one address, one property management, one roof to replace, And if there is a vacancy, it doesn't hurt you as much as like a whole house being vacant. And it's like the same amount of effort, but way higher return, especially with value add. If you can raise the rent $100 for 100 units, I mean,
Damn, you got your $1 million value add.
exactly. That's all it takes. So there's just so many more opportunities with multifamily.
Sorry, go ahead, Myron. I saw you were going to speak.
I just Joel, or is it Joel or Joel? Has a bunch. He is so excited. I can see this, right?
I know he messaged me earlier with the script he had. It was great.
Do you guys value the property from the current rent or the future rent? I think Carolyn said the current rent, right?
I didn't say that.
Yeah,
Okay,
that was
somebody-
me. But we're all logged in the same account.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
You always want to
Okay,
underwrite a
cool.
deal at the actuals, not the pro forma.
So,
Oh.
right, not the pro forma, which would be if
Project.
you get things fixed or straightened up, this is the rent you could pull. So I'm not going to pay for potential, just like you wouldn't pay for potential at just a normal house. So that's where they say that, Joel or Joel, because that's your value add that they're just talking about. And I saw some other question.
He put one on my Facebook.
Okay, great.
It said on the first qualifying call for 5+ multifamily apartments, do we need to ask for the P&L, rent rolls, and vacancies and info of the tenants towards the end or the condition pillar? What is some info we need? I guess he's asking like what we need to be asking for in the first call. Is this direct? I guess depending if it's direct to seller or broker, a broker should typically have all of this stuff already in a nice, pretty present for you. Typically what we do, or when we're calling brokers, or mainly we call brokers, the first thing that we're doing is kind of, what's the word? Giving ourselves credibility.
Introduce ourselves.
Yeah, we come in and tell them who we are, what we're trying to acquire, and what our team has done, and kind of leverage the people we're working with. And usually when we do a good job at that, they don't ask for proof of funds or any information. We can get the rent rolls and the P&L and everything we need in regards to the financials. But if for some reason we didn't really do a good job, then they'll ask for proof of funds and things like that. And we'll send that over to them and then wait till they send it. And most times when there's missing information, it's a red flag. It's like, why are you not sending me certain months or certain things? Like, what's going on? So you kind of become an investigator to see like, okay, what's the story behind this apartment or this deal? And I don't know, does anyone else want to continue going on about it? I think direct to seller is good, but they may not have everything ready for you yet. Maybe, especially the smaller ones, they might be mom and pop apartment buildings. So sometimes their financials are not the best. We've seen some really good ones and some some that are non-existent. So you kind of see a wide variety of financials and you kind of just got to work with what you can. But when a seller has very bad financials or no financials at all, we try to leverage that to get terms, kind of use it to our advantage to get something that we'd like in return and do like a seller finance, maybe do 5 years interest only payments or something like that to stabilize the property. But brokers is also a good way to get good deals, or you can ask them for off-market deals because there's a lot of wholesalers out there that are going to send you deals that they're not direct to seller or broker, and then you're going to be wasting a lot of time. I'm probably talking a lot, but the one key thing we learned from our mentor, do not sign NDAs from wholesalers. Don't do it. Do not do it. And if they are asking for 3% buyer's fee, don't do it. Nobody pays 3%.
It kills the deal.
Can you tell? Can you tell that we've been through a lot in such a short time with everything KJ's saying?
We've learned lessons. And so now when I see someone send me 3% buyer's fee, trash, not talking to
And
you.
that's what we were talking about at the beginning, right? It's making those decisions, the commitment, and then setting those boundaries, right?
What are we going to
And-
put up with? And what are we
right.
gonna put up with?
And so just like Carolyn mentioned earlier, we've only been like a whole team for like 3 months, maybe a little bit longer than that. And those 3 months have felt like, I don't know about you guys, but like 6 months.
It's been a week for
I
me.
don't, is that a
Yeah, it's definitely
compliment or-
been a journey. Been a journey.
With all the learning stuff, all the learning lessons, everything, it's been up and a roller coaster ride for sure. But I wouldn't take it back for anything, guys. I would not, because we learned so much.
I
I'd
mean, we
rather have a
just
roller
learned. I mean, we just barely learned about the 3%. and now I'm realizing, okay, I mean, we have a lot of people that send us deals that are a waste of time, and I mean, it's learning how to weed them out, and that was the part we didn't know how to do. So now we've learned what to look for and what to avoid, and a way to kind of weed them out before you sign an NDA. If they're asking, say, hey, let's hop on the phone with the broker, you and me, and just, if they're not direct to broker, then that's going to scare them off, and they're not going to do it. So those are some key points we've learned.
I love that. Yes, I think it's really important to be weeding those cute little daisy chainers out.
They're 3%ers. That's what they are.
3%ers.
Wow.
That is a burn.
That's funny. Joelle asks, are brokers like realtors / agents? How do you explain what a broker is?
Yeah, basically, it's someone that
seasoned
works in
one?
the commercial space rather than the family space. Usually, the majority of them are brokers, but they don't always have to be in a commercial space.
I know you have to
think
have
it's
your
7 or
license for
10
like,
years.
I thought it was 4. I don't know. We don't know much.
There's a certain
about
amount
the
of
rules.
time that you have to have a realtor's license to apply for your broker's license. Once you have a broker's license, then you no longer have to work under another broker. You can have your own operation,
Brokerage.
your own
So
brokerage.
those are the ones who have the deals. Those are the ones who are usually direct to seller, and they'll have all the paperwork put together. They'll have it all organized for you. So that's usually why we call them, because most people go to brokers or realtors first when they want to sell a property. So they're usually in the know-abouts. They know other brokers to talk to. They know what deals are going on. They know the cap rates in the area. They're a good resource to find out, hey, what's going on in the area. If you don't know the cap rate, you can ask them, what's the going cap rate? And then when they try to sell you a deal at a higher or at a lower cap rate, you're going to be like, well, I think you and I both know this is not a deal. So
I'd like to get like your guys' opinion real quick. Like, we'll start off with Carolyn and Myron and then go to KJ and Joseph. But what's like the most, like, I guess you can say, what's your favorite part about multifamily?
Closing seller finance.
because an integrator did it. Hell yeah.
I want to say something real quick about brokers before we move on. Hold on.
Yeah, do your
Brokers
thing.
work for the seller. They're not on your team. They're going to act so nice. Sellers are going to act so nice to you, but they are stone cold, brother. They are business people, right? And you got to listen to what they say and hear, they're going to sell you wherever that deal is. The best schools are in by that, whatever it is. The economy is rising up. Jobs are coming. This is the thing you should buy, right? And it is business, and that's why bring us the deal. We'll help you underwrite it. We'll show you if it works, right? We'll show you. bring us a deal, we'll show you.
Mhm.
And
And
they're always going to want you to buy on pro formas, not on actuals.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't buy on performa. We
nobody
buy
should.
on actual.
Can we say what pro forma is?
Oh yeah, we might be going above people's heads. We used to be there. Now we're all fancy or try to be.
Tell
Pro
us.
forma is what the property would like appraise at. Like this is the potential for the property in our projection for what it can be. So we don't base anything off of some mystical can be number. We want actual physical past 12 months of expenses, rent rolls, all the financials, all of it. Like don't
What the
set this a
facts.
rent roll and say this is all I got, you know. Anyway, pro forma. Some magical number in the future that doesn't matter.
It's
Sometimes
similar to ARV.
Yes, your ARV. Yes.
Similar to
That was he should have just did my answer.
That's a
And then
good question in the chat. Sorry, Joseph, go ahead.
No, I was just going to answer your previous question about what our favorite thing is. There's a lot of favorite things, honestly. One, in comparison to dealing with brokers versus dealing with sellers in single family, is there's less emotion. It's just business. So it's a lot easier to have those conversations and get the things that you need. And there's no emotion attached to the property for the most part. There are some cases. I love the scalability of it. Like KJ was saying earlier, all you need is one deal. One deal will change your life. And then you can increase that deal to make even more money. And then later on down the road, either get another one or sell that one and roll it into another one, right? There's so many different options. And I think the flexibility is what I love. There's so many different things that you can do, right? You can raise the rents. You can add a dog park, start charging pet fees. You could add carports, start charging for carports. You can add little garage storage, charge for the storage. There's so many different things that you can do. Like we were watching our mentor, and there's a credit builder. You can charge $5 for credit builder, and that all you're doing is reporting them paying their rent on time to the credit bureaus. And that's $5 a month extra that you can add to every single person on your rent rolls. That's one thing. And then there's so many other options that you can stack. And I just love the flexibility and the scalability.
And how many properties is that, Joseph, that you were just talking about?
It's one property. One property.
How many units?
How many units?
As many as you can get, right? We want 1,000 this year. That's what our goal is. We're going to get 1,000 by July 2023. You guys hold us to it.
You know what's funny? Our mentor told us, you know what you do? You pull up a taco truck and then you have the shelter come with the dogs. And then you let everybody adopt some dogs and then you charge them for the dogs.
Yeah,
I was like,
hilarious.
I would have never thought of that. Like, that's so funny. I mean, it's great to get the dogs adopted. That makes me happy. But I think it's funny. That's a smart, clever way to be able to charge for dogs for living there.
Wow.
Hey,
I
let's do math real quick. I'm
Okay, let's do math.
gonna charge everybody $5 a month for credit builder, like Joseph said.
Okay.
He's making us charge money. And we have 1,000 units. Agnes, stick with us. $5 times 1,000 units. And I'm going to do that all year long, right, Joseph? I got to charge them every month all year. So times 12.
And then 95% occupancy.
Okay. So I'm going to times 0.95 then. So I got 57,000. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. And then let's say cap rate's 5%.
So then you're going to divide that by 5%.
I say 5% cap rate.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me
That just made you $1 million.
$1 million in valuation.
Off of $5 a month per unit.
Imagine what you would do with $100, $200. Crazy.
Did y'all? Oh wait, no, I don't. There's no like action in the chat. Like, are y'all like stuck on the calculator? Like,
We need some fires in the chat.
$1 million, $1 million. I charged Joseph charged everybody $5 more, and we went up in our valuation by 1.1 million.
Isn't that insane?
What?
That's nuts.
Once you see that math, it's hard to unsee it, and that's what we fell in love with. That's so crazy. You can't do that in single family. It would take you 1,000 single families to be able to do that.
Yep.
I think it took a mind shift change for me big time. Like I had a light bulb come on because I was like, I didn't actually believe I was capable, willing, or deserving of doing this. I didn't think I could do this. I thought you got to go through single family, got to get some of those, then go into multifamily. And I'm like, single family doesn't even sound fun. It sounds draining and frustrating. And most of my buyers are trying to sell off their single family to get into multifamily. I was like, why not just skip that, go straight to multifamily? Because I mean, it's kind of like learning a whole new thing anyway. I mean, it's very similar but different at the same time. So it took me a mindset change to really believe in myself and believe that we are deserving and capable of doing these things. And it's just like, wow, like the shift of energy, the shift of like the fact that we're all working together. Somehow God put us together, and I'm so thankful for that. Like it just happened, and we all have the same goals, and we're all doing the same thing. And I'm just like, wow, like I couldn't imagine doing this without you guys, like at all. I wouldn't be doing it without you guys. So me with the words, always got to tell y'all I love y'all.
We feel the same way.
We love it. And then, guys, the crazy part about this is that whenever we were renting an apartment, we were paying for covered parking. We were paying for a detached garage, a storage unit. Yeah. Yeah. And now looking back, like if I had known what I was paying for, like those people were making a killing off of me.
You're
Right.
a customer.
Man. So now when I looked at my statements, like when I first got into multifamily, I was looking at my statements. I was like, those I knew exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I want to go back and buy the first apartment we ever lived in. That would be insane.
That'd be cool.
That's exactly what
We
we
do
want to
too.
do. We want to
Okay, all of us, let's go buy the first apartment we lived in.
we drive by
That'd be
so often,
insane.
and we're like, we're gonna buy this one day.
What class building was yours, Carolyn and Myron's?
An
Class
A.
A. It was a class A.
Yeesh. I think ours was a B.
I think it was A, B. In between.
No, ours was not an A. Don't let her lie to you. Ours was not an A. Ours was a B for sure.
I'm like, if you're moving my ass to Dallas, I want to be able to see that city line. And
Yeah, that's
it was
crazy.
little it was a one bedroom.
It was a one bedroom.
One bedroom. And we paid like
I actually don't remember.
like $1,400 for it.
Dang.
Back then, that was expensive.
Would you believe that 6 months ago we would be doing what we're doing and we would be talking about buying an apartment?
Maybe a little.
Yes, I've had that goal. Honestly, I've had that goal before I joined Sub 2 that I want to buy that complex.
Oh.
I was mowing the lawn one day. I know the effect you're going for.
No, you're good. No, because I wanted to get multifamily for a long time, but I didn't ever think it would be like now. I thought it'd be like later down the road.
You would be actually doing this.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No.
I feel like when we first joined Sub 2, we were looking at I think I felt like some sort of pull to look at multifamily, and I joined in Ryan's Zooms when he was doing them months ago. and just kind of like listening, like half absorbing. And I felt like it was the reverse of what we're doing now. I'm like, it's not in alignment. It's like not yet. It's too nutty to get into that right now.
Right.
And now it's like, switch.
Yeah, like when you get those spreadsheets, they're very overwhelming. Like,
Very.
whoa, what in the heck? And you got to like dig into them. You got to investigate. Like, that's too much. And then it's scary. It's like what we were talking about. If you don't commit, it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So Jordan Anthony put on the comments, with multi, what does your team need to consist of? Who wants to
Ooh,
answer?
good question. Good question. Whoever wants to take lead.
Joseph.
Nose goes.
I would say
Yes, sir.
you need a lot of different characters. Now, whether you're wearing all of those hats or you have multiple different people to have those hats, there's a lot of different things that have to get done, right? There's the outreach, the initial looking for deals or reaching out to brokers or sellers. Hey, I'm actively searching. This is what I'm looking for, right? They either send you the deal or you keep reaching out to them. You need people to underwrite the deal, actually verify whether or not this is a good deal to pursue or not, and not just like a quick, oh, was this like the quick math that Myron and me just showed you? That's like very quick napkin underwriting. That's to see how much money you could potentially make on it. But you still need to deep dive into those spreadsheets that they give you, the actuals. That's a whole job in itself right there. Then there's actually structuring the deal. So just past going to the brokers, and you have to actually structure the deal in a way that makes sense to where you're going to make money, whether that's a seller finance or just straight up cash. Then you need to have someone that's going to bring that money together. Now, whether you already have someone like we do, we have our mentor in our back pocket that we could bring on to deals with us, and he will bring money for us. Or you go and source the money yourself, whether it's through 1031s or raising the capital and syndicating it. That's a whole job in itself as well. What else am I missing?
Closing the deals.
No, we said that.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think
those
you
are-
are structuring the deal. So due diligence is as another thing, right?
Yeah, actually walking the property, taking a
Mhm.
look at the property itself. Like you could look at the
Following
numbers
up.
and everything, right? But if they're lying to you about the numbers, and maybe they're saying, hey, it doesn't really need that much work, maybe some paint, but then you go there and the apartments are really crappy, outdated, everything needs work. That's a whole job in itself to go figure out what actually needs to be done and who's in charge of making sure that gets done and watching over it. That's a job in itself as well. Then managing the property.
Asset
You
management.
gotta have someone managing the property. Now, whether that's someone yourself, getting it up and started, that's something you're gonna have to do, whether you have a property management or not, right? Long term, you have a property management company and they come and take care of everything. But in the beginning, you have to be there to help them along and make sure that they're doing the job you're paying them to do. So you don't want to just pay them blindly and hope they're gonna do it. And you also got to vet these companies. That's something that we're learning. I think we're going to learn that this Thursday in our mentorship. That's what I think we're supposed to be learning that next. That's the next subject. But I think that's everything, right?
There's probably a few more things here and there, but I think you covered the gist of it. And put it this way, Jordan, like when Caston and our mentor closed their deal in Columbus, Georgia, they have a team. Our mentor has a big team, and they've done this before. They're seasoned. But when I spoke to Caston offline, I said, "Hey man, how'd that deal go?" He goes, "His team, my mentor's team, has about 6 integrators, and it still wasn't enough." Just to give you a little bit of food for thought, it takes a lot. And I think Myron can break it down a little bit more when it comes to underwriting, because there's also stress tests that you have to put the property through. And so I'll let Myron touch up on that, but yeah.
You guys know rule of thumb, what rule of thumb means. Just like, hey, generally we have 5% vacancy. Depends on where you go, right? Different markets can have different vacancies, but you typically say 5%. Well, what if something happens and you go to 10%? So you stress test your operations. What if you have a bunch of late? What if you have a bunch of people pay late?
What if COVID happens?
Yeah, well,
No,
I don't
I'm
want to
kidding.
stress test for that. I think like some other things. What if
Get there now.
maintenance goes up by 50%? What happens if we, you can stress test on CapEx. You can stress test
Interest rates.
interest. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Interest rates are going to be moving around. I need to go borrow money. Man, I can't think of anything else, Oscar. I'm sorry, but like,
You're good.
There's a lot that goes into that deep underwriting that, like Joseph said, that's a job. That is a legit job to deep underwrite. And let's say you don't even make an offer on it, right? And you went through all of that. And it's like, guys, just buy it. Like, we'll make it freaking work. No, that's why you do those stress tests, because you're gonna put 50 million, 60. You're bringing in $60 million, and you're not gonna stress test what I'm investing in. No, stress what happens. So you want to make sure it's a solid investment for your whoever that is, your sponsor or your investors, whatever that is, because you want it to be successful. And one of the things that you want to bring to the table, I want to go back to Jordan. Jordan, when you bring a deal in, you want to do those things like Joseph said was, hey, if we bring in pet fees, we bring in $5 credit. What is that called? Credit
builder. That's what they call it.
I'm going to bring in $5 credit builder. I'm going to bring in pet fees. These people are charging, are paying for electric, but nobody else is paying for electric in the area. We're going to charge that back to the tenant. When you bring that deal in, you want to look for those things and say, hey, this is what we can do to make this a better deal. Rent reporter. Thank you, Agnes. It's not just, hey, here are the spreadsheets. Think about what you can do to make this thing work and make this thing get more money, make more money, and lower expenses. Every dollar you make can boost up your valuation on the other side. Can we move to, do we have something else we want to talk about?
I was going to ask you if there's anything else on the list that we needed to touch.
I want to talk about what serves you.
Good topic.
Preach.
Let's go, Preacher Myron. Let's go.
Myron 4.0. Let's do it.
What serves you? So, Carolyn made a reel for me, and it was me pouring out a beer in the fridge. And honestly, I typically would have saved that beer for when I finished 75 hard, but I said no more. And I said, Oscar, I poured out my last beer because I'm not going to be drinking anymore. What? I'm like, I'll drink Dr. Pepper. Right? My mom just was diagnosed with cancer. We found 2 lumps, and you know how you live your life and you're like, man, I learned that lesson from what people do, and I'm not going to do that. What I'm not going to do, right? Mom is a long time drinker. I'm not talking bad about her. I'm just saying and I'm just like, you know what? She is cutting. She's stopping. She's now drinking juice, full-time juice. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? I'm stopping too. Do the thing. Does beer actually serve you? Okay, yeah, I had a hard day. I'm gonna knock one back. I feel good about that. But like, really, what does it do? And so I'm just gonna be putting good things into my body. I'm gonna be putting good thoughts into my mind. And these are the boundaries. Excuse me, what serves you. I guess it's also a boundary. But what the things that serve you, like people doing you wrong, stand up for yourself, but don't dwell on it. Stand up for yourself, make it right, and then be done. Like literally, legit, I've told, I think, 3 people to lose my number over the last 2 weeks.
Brand new Myron.
Saying lose my number.
Like I said, lose my number. Done. I've never said that before.
He said that to me.
I love it. I love it.
What did I call
I
you
said
out?
that to him. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Totally kidding. We never said that to each other.
But like, I guess once I said I'm done, I give it up. I'm done. Like something happened. I clicked, and I said, I'm not going to deal with bull crap anymore, because the people, especially the people on this Zoom, I'm protecting them, and I hope they do the same for me. I'm protecting my wife. First and foremost is her. I'm sorry, y'all, but like,
Well, I would hope so.
I'm a little
She's
hurt
number
by
one.
that, but it's okay.
I knew.
Oh no.
Now you're circle fish.
Oh, that's funny.
Anyways, you know, if you think about the things that are coming towards you, where are they at, like a vibrational scale, right? Like, are they low vibration? Are they high vibration? I want high vibration. And so that's what I allow. I work on that every single day. I'm allowing this. I was telling KJ, I think it was just KJ.
Yeah, I think we were talking earlier
Scary
about it.
movies. I like scary movies. I've seen the movie Evil Dead probably 300 times. It is funny, it's gory, and then I'm just like, man, what am I putting in my brain? And we watch Stranger Things. I'm like, man, what am I putting in my brain? I just want positive things. If y'all watch that Dean Graziosi, is that how you say his last name?
Mm-hmm.
Dean Graziosi spent an hour a day on mindset. And I'm just mindset. Dang, that's amazing. I like that. So we're talking about all these things are rolling, decisions, committing, what scares you. Like saying lose my number was scary, but I did it. And I'm like, you know what that did for like the trajectory of the next, I guess my life, but like the trajectory of the next few months, right?
For real.
Like broke it off. I don't need that crap. So whatever y'all have going on in your life that you're like, you know what, I'm done with that person. What time is it? Call them up.
Lose my number.
I'm just kidding.
That's the real Myron method.
Dang. Guys, do you remember that one time, KJ and Joseph, where I told you, you guys were saying something about Myron? Like, Myron's always calm and collected. I was like, nuh-uh. You guys, Myron is stern. And then you
Yeah.
guys witnessed it that same day, remember?
Ever since we said that, that was the day I think Myron flipped the switch. That's when everything's changed. From that day, it's funny because I didn't remember Myron being as stern as he is now, which it's fantastic. I love it. I love the Myron 4.0, as you called
For
it.
sure.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, it's cool to watch all of us evolve into a new, better person. And it's cool to see us not let people, like Myron says, steamroll us, not saying yes to everybody like we used to, like having our boundaries and realizing that our time is valuable and realizing we've got families to feed, we've got goals to set too, and just figuring it all out, learning how to, be able to still help people, but remember to focus on us first, because we got 1,000 units to hit by next July. So we're going to be busy, guys. I'm excited. And I love that all of us push each other to be better, and we're all like positive, happy energy. And I mean, it just makes working with you guys fun, and I love it.
Thank you, KJ.
No. Who is your Who's your mentor?
Oh, you
I
guys
don't-
want
I
to
don't-
reveal the secret sauce?
Oh, I don't know how to say his last name. Don't put me on the spot.
Our mentor is Pace Morby.
Oh, come on.
That's one of our mentors.
Oscar's got to say it.
many mentors. We have many mentors.
That is
Okay.
true.
Okay. So I'll say it. Okay. So
With the
of course
Spanish
we're all sub
accent.
two here, right? We're all sub two here. But one day I went into Pace's Q&A and I had a multifamily deal that I was working on, and it was 12 buildings, 24 doors. It's duplexes. And at that point, I didn't know what to do. So I went into the Q&A and I rose my hand, and Pace called me and said, "Hey, how can I help you?" And so I went there and I asked Pace, I was like, "Pace, I have this deal. I don't know what to do. It's multifamily. Can you help me?" And Pace said, "Here, I'm going to give you a phone number of this gentleman. He literally spends a lot of time with Grant Cardone. You know, he's traveling with him at times, and he's like really close to him. Give him a call. He'll be able to help you out." And he gave me his phone number. And so I called this gentleman, and this gentleman's name is Carlos Salguero. And Carlos Salguero and I talked briefly about the deal, but for him, it wasn't something that they were looking at. But then I went ahead and told him about another person's deal, and that was Keston. I told him about his deal, and I connected both of them. And so then they both started talking about the deal in Columbus, Georgia. They did the deal together. They closed it not too long ago. And then from there on out, Carlos has been literally almost everywhere with a bunch of other people from Sub 2 as well. And so he is now our mentor in multifamily. So that's KJ Joseph and myself. Carlos Salguero is our mentor.
Cool.
Yep, I couldn't have said that last name. Not with that kind of accent.
Ready.
Yeah. Does anybody have questions while we're on here?
Any other questions? He's like, thank you for that. Okay, these are great.
Okay.
This is a good video.
KJ, would you like to tell everybody our buy box?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. It's 40 units, class A, B, or C.
Hang on. 40 units or more.
Oh yeah. I
is
don't know what I was thinking. Okay, 40 units or above, minimum 40 units. So we will nicely decline any deals you bring to us that are not 40 units or above. We've got to set our boundaries and value our time and energy, and that does not serve us anymore. So if it is not 40 units and above, we will not look at it. Needs to be in a cap rate between 5 and 8%. We're looking for value add and any deal across the Sun Belt. So any landlord friendly states. And then no buyer's fee, no 3% buyer's fee. So what else am I missing? Oh, there's no cap. We have no cap on price or units. We just need a minimum of 40 because our goal is to get 1,000 units in the next year. And we're looking for $1 million deals. So anything below that is not going to serve us in that way, which is why we are not going to look at it anymore. So bring us $1 million deal and we'll help you learn how to underwrite it and send or look at the financials, send an LOI, get the proof of funds, all of the above.
Thank you, KJ. I know Joel will ask this, but I'm just gonna jump in and ask, why above 40 units?
I can answer that.
Oh, I thought you were just having a dramatic pause.
Yeah, so did I. I was waiting for
Well, I mean, it's why above 40 units? Because what if I send you a 30 unit, right? So like, what's that? Why is it right there?
Sure. And I think for us, we mentioned we're working on a Corpus Christi deal that's 30 units, right? And why are we doing that when we just said 40 units? Well, the difference is the one that we're working on in Corpus Christi is a seller finance, and it's a killer deal. Now, we typically wouldn't take anything below that, like 40 units and above, is because someone answered it in the chat. It's because of the property management. You underwrite deals typically 40 units or above because you can justify having a property management in place. Anything under that, you would probably have to self-manage, and that's not what we want to do.
So the 30-unit deal, we are structuring additional deals in Corpus Christi. Shoot, what is that called? It is, if you have property management on a 30 unit and then you have a 20 unit over here, you stretch that dollar for that property management.
Right. You can justify getting it for sure. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good deal.
Cool.
Good question.
Any questions? That was a very good question.
Yeah. Any other questions, anybody? I've enjoyed everybody that's been here. I guess it's not like Zoom. We don't get to see y'all's beautiful faces.
I know. I
Yeah,
thought
I wonder.
Like,
Sorry, go ahead.
there's-
Awkward pause.
I know, right? Nobody else. Anything else?
Did you see Joelle's listing? I can't copy and paste it, so it's on one of y'all's Facebook.
It's on mine. Let's see. It's a 40 unit with 5 buildings. It's a C class. Average occupancy 3%.
Oof.
Joel, will you figure out what that means? Average occupancy 3%. That seems like that seems very low. Like squatters are there or something.
What state is it in?
Kansas?
No,
No,
it's in Mississippi, Gulfport, Mississippi.
Were you asking if we're looking for a deal like that or that deal specifically?
Saying that's an example
Oh, okay. Oh, I see the comment.
of what we're looking for.
Okay, yeah. For anybody else, though, we typically don't like to get anything that's listed online, kind of like the same with single family, just in case anyone doesn't know. That's why we call brokers or try to call direct to seller, because usually if it's listed online, it's not a deal, which is why it's listed online. So just a little note there for the future.
Joel, that's a duress. That is a complex that is having problems. It needs
You
to
could just say
be
distress.
Yeah, I was about to say.
He was going for under duress.
Under
I believe
duress,
that's what it
yes.
Oh, okay.
We're not concerned about dresses anymore here.
But they're having a lot of problems in that complex. It probably needs to be completely rehabbed. There's some distress. Thank you, everyone. I get all the help in the world. Thank you, guys.
That's what we're here for.
That it could be a deal, but it's going to be tough, right? It's going to be super tough, especially with no money coming in. Heard there was a drug. Okay, there is money coming in.
It's just not clean money.
Did you remember when you brought that deal, KJ, to the Q&A, and it was that OKC one, and
Oh, yeah.
and our mentor was like, "What are we gonna do with that? We're gonna turn it into a haunted house and make money that way." It was so
It needed
distressed.
like 4 million in reno.
Yeah, 4 million in reno, and it was like 25% occupancy. It was horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but those are good learning lessons, good things to look at because you don't come across them often. So when you do, it's good to figure out, what do I do in this situation? So
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we have anything else?
Well, I think the last thing was Myron method. If y'all argue with that.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
So I'm doing, if you go to my Instagram, it's called Myron Method. And a little plug. By the way, all of us have our Instagram handles, except for me, but all of us have our Instagram handles on this. I'm just like announcing mine, Myron Method. Please go follow us. We work hard on reels and stuff. So we'd love to connect with you. Send us a message.
Bring them away.
Definitely.
Huh?
What did you say over there?
She didn't say anything. Anyways, Myron Method is where we're going to pull a list for you. It's a multifamily list. And we're going to put it, it's going to be our buy box. What is it? What is it up? Armando.
Hey, Armando.
It's going to be our buy box. We're going to pull a list. We're going to put it into a system for you that's going to run messages, and you're going to be able to jump on the phone with sellers. When you have a deal, Joel, when you have a deal, you can bring it to us. We will take it, and we'll take it the rest of the way. Yeah. That is something we're offering. We want to JV with you. You can make the calls. We will help you close it, and we'll help you on the exit side as well.
Take it to the finish.
Take it to the finish line. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Our goal is to have equity in every single deal that we do, if it makes sense. And Myron Method is a way for us to go. The closer you get to the seller, the better the deal is, right? You can structure your own terms. You can negotiate whatever it is, right?
I have an example of that actually. We have a smaller apartment building here in Tucson that we've been working on, and they initially we're down with seller finance, but there's a realtor involved and a broker, and the realtor for whatever reason is unable to create a finance side of it, and the seller has an accountant in their ear telling them that he should 1031 it and get rid of it. But what his problem is, what he's trying to do is he wants to be done. He's old. He just wants to be done with the property. So we know seller finance is the best option for him. So ultimately what we did is I got the phone number from the realtor today. So we're going to call them tomorrow and talk directly with the seller and avoid all that. And we're going to shoot our shot and see what happens on seller finance.
Joseph, would the people that are watching us, all of them, be able to watch you do that?
You're going to be on there too, Myron.
Yeah, you're going to be there with me. But yeah, I don't see why not. We basically just need to convince him that it is honestly the best option for him, because he's tired of self-managing it. But the accountant is telling him to 1031 it into another larger property, and he doesn't want to.
You would have to then keep
manage that one. Yeah, exactly. So that's where we're at.
I think you got this. I think so too.
I mean, it shouldn't. I mean, I'm just gonna point blank here the facts. Just like I said, there's no emotion in it for me. I mean, sure, the seller does have some emotion in it, but I mean, this is business, and he should understand that it's a business as well, because that was his cash cow for I'm sure a long time. That was bringing him in money. He was running it like a business. You know
so tomorrow, what time is that call, Arizona time?
Anytime. I haven't. It's not set in stone. Realtor just said to give him a call anytime. I got it maybe 20 minutes before we hopped on here.
Should we do 2:00? We've got a meeting at 1 with that broker. So all of us.
And we got a meeting at 4 too.
So maybe 2:00 Arizona time?
Yeah.
That would be 4 Central.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
All right. So y'all, I think we should do another StreamYard.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Oh, shit.
So y'all watch out tomorrow, 2:00
Arizona. 4 p.m. Central Standard.
Watch our integrators become closers right in front of your faces, guys.
Right? They're amazing.
That's funny.
They're crushing it. And honestly, we're trying to figure something out. We have a lot of people that reach out to us that want help, want us to help them underwrite deals, want to learn how to talk to people. And we're trying to figure something out that we can put together where we can kind of put you in a direction to kind of get you started. Because like we said, we are setting boundaries and needing to make sure we hit our goals. So if we take a while to respond, that may be why we've been pretty busy. But we do want to make sure that we can help you guys the best we can. And we're going to figure something out. I told Oscar this may be a good idea. Maybe like once a week at a specific time, we have maybe something like this, but maybe a Zoom where everybody comes in and just asks the questions they have, or whatever it is that. Yeah. That way, because like I notice I'm spending a lot of time having to talk to each person individually. I'm like, what if we could just get everybody together at one time? That way everybody's here. We can answer everybody's questions. We can learn from everybody's questions. And I think that would be useful. Just something I came up with, but we can figure something out. We're working on it, guys. So if you haven't heard from us or it takes a while, that's why. We've got a lot doing in the works.
Appreciate your patience.
And I tagged or pinned Joelle's last comment there. This is true. 100% true.
Love it.
And Scotty, yeah, you can join tomorrow for the call. I think that's what you're asking in the chat.
I have one last thing I want to throw out there. It's totally unrelated completely. But I have a VA in the Philippines that is crushing it in the music game. And I want to play.
Oh, y'all gotta hear this.
Little
I'm so excited.
Our VA makes music. Listen to it.
Yeah, it's Kid Cream TV on YouTube. Pretty cool name. Check this out. It's pretty good though. Y'all can hear it?
Yeah.
It's short.
Only got a pocket full of dreams, trying to better my life. A dedication for myself, so I'ma work all night. Got my 9 to 5 hustle, non-stop struggle. Every day I'm learning, let the grind make it double. Get the first world's D's, I wanna make them see that I'm original, spraying up some Filipino rap. All eyes on me as I'm climbing to the top. They probably talking shit, trying to break me, though it's not enough. Sometimes it's hopeless, but we always get by. We custom made to overcome all the challenges around. Got my game face on as I walk in the sunshine. It's grind time, gotta win and get what's all mine.
Oh, how cute. That's awesome.
That was pretty good, right?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? That's our VA.
That's
Nice.
nuts.
For anyone who
Kid
doesn't know what a
Cream TV.
VA is a virtual assistant. So this is the guy that makes calls for us in the Philippines.
Yeah, he lives in the
This is a VM, a virtual musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's
Virtual
awesome.
artist.
I was like, I need to download that. I'd listen to that in the car. That's a good
Yeah.
song.
Like a Filipino Mac Miller
Wow.
or Logic. But yeah, go check him out. Kid Cream TV on YouTube.
TV.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How many
That was
VAs do
amazing.
you have?
I know. It blows my mind every time I hear it. It sounds so good.
Patrick asks, how many VAs do y'all have?
I have two.
That's for the wholesale side, but we're trying to
Yeah,
shift
that's
from
our
wholesale.
single family side.
Yeah, we're honestly starting to shift from single family to only multifamily. So we may need to find them a new home soon.
As a team, we have no VAs.
Yeah.
Correct. As
Yeah,
a team, we don't have any.
Yeah.
But that may change soon. Who knows? Who knows? It's forever evolving.
Yeah, I am the VA right now. Except I don't have a cool YouTube channel like that.
I know. Hey, but this is our studio right here, so we could drop some beats in here.
There you go.
That's funny. Well, I guess that's a wrap.
That is literally, we ended
A
with
wrap.
a wrap. So
We'll call it MF mixtape. There you go.
Funny.
Cool.
thank you guys. This was fun.
Awesome.
Thank you, everyone, for doing this.
Thanks
You have
for
a good night, guys.
joining.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.